Four scopes. Page scope, right? Request scope, session scope, and application scope. So in this diagram, we saw how the request response happens in a typical web application or a mobile application, right? And say if it's serving only a retrieval kind of data, right? Information, a static web, or how all the operations like create a record, retrieve a record, update a record, or delete a record is happening. Okay. So now we'll understand page scope, request scope, session scope, and application scope. So page scope is the data. So say there is a form, right? There is a form and user edits some input fields. Until and unless user clicks on a save button, the data remains there, right? So it is bound to this page. So the scope is page, right? This is the page scope. Now the next event is the same data when it is persisted. When this button click event happens, request is sent and response is received. Request is sent and request is received back. So then the data is called a request scoped data. Session scope is what? And when a user logs in to an application, right? So say a user logs into a web application or a mobile application, and two things happens, right? Authentication and authorization. Authentication and authorization happens, right? Who the user is, what the user can do, right? So provided a token. Now this token has a lifetime. This token is bound to have a lifetime, 30 seconds, hours, 2 hours, like how long user usually stays active on this. So this is session scope. So first we saw page scope data, edit some field until user saves some information from that form, the page, data remains on that page. When the event of saving happens, for example, then the response is generated back to the generated request saying that the save has successfully happened. Now session scope is what? A token is provided when an end user logs into a system based on the authentication and authorization levels. And the token is invalidated after a set time. Then what is application now? Application data is a data that is available throughout the sessions, right? Throughout the life of the application, just like a singleton class design pattern. This data is available throughout the application. So what is it then? The about pages. The about pages of the application, the help pages of the application are available throughout the application. The necessary mandates, like some procedures are there, like processes are there, some principles that would never change, right? So such data is bound to the application scope. Universal truth for that application and for that interaction, for that user. So this is what request, session, and application, right? So request, session, application scope, these are. So now the application can have multiple sessions, right? The session can have multiple request response happening, right? And parallel to them, there can be multiple page events happening, right? In this hierarchy, if we review, say there are a number of users editing pages in their mobile applications, in their web browsers, and such data is then persisted across request response within multiple sessions, right? And overall life of the application while following the about section of the page, the help document, necessary mandates, procedures, processes. and responsibilities.